This grilled flank steak is simple and delicious, but it's also fantastic if you make it ahead, making it the perfect party dish. The horseradish cream alongside, well, that just makes everything feel that much fancier. It starts with a really simple marinade, just with a bit of brown sugar, soy sauce, and wine vinegar. You can use red wine vinegar or white wine vinegar, doesn't matter, whatever you've got on hand. And you just want to mix that all up in a marinating dish. I'm using a big pie dish. And you'll notice that it's not a ton of marinade. It's not a huge quantity. Not to worry, it's very intense. Okay, we need a clove or two of garlic, and I'm just going to peel it and cut it in half. You'll see why. So I'm just doing one little flank steak. You can get as much as you need for the people who are coming to your party. And please take note of the lines on the flank steak. That's the grain. So we are going to rub the flank steak all over with that cut side of that garlic. You may even want to cut it again so you can get a kind of a juicier bit. And you want to rub it all over the flank steak and then flop it into the marinade and rub another piece of garlic all over the other side. You can toss the garlic chunks into that marinade as well and then just flip it over a couple of times. And that is it. You can marinate that for at least 1 hour or even overnight in the fridge. Let's make this horseradish cream. It's equal parts sour cream and mayonnaise and horseradish. Now this is prepared horseradish. You get this from the refrigerator section. It is intense. Now start with a little bit less because the thing with prepared horseradish is when you first open the jar, it's really, really spicy. But then if the jar has been open and sitting in your fridge for a week or two, it really loses its spiciness. So, take a little taste, add a little more, and just so that it's really nice and piquant and zesty, and it'll really brighten up your steak. Throw some plastic wrap on that, and that is ready to hang out in the fridge for 24 to 48 hours. The barbecue is on high. I'm going to put the flank steak right on there. I like to actually pat it down with my fork to make sure we got maximum surface area touching. Close the lid, always barbecue with the lid closed, and then I'm going to flop it over and do the same thing on the other side. Great thing about flank steak, it's very lean, so you're not going to have any of those pesky flare-ups that you can sometimes see with the fattier meats. Most important thing with flank steak, of course, is you've got to let it rest. It must rest at least 10 minutes, as much as half an hour. You see all the juices are just there, right there on the board. And now I can slice it. So I'm going to slice it thinly against the grain. So that's perpendicular to those lines on the flank steak that we saw earlier. And slice it thinly. You can see I'm using a really pronounced sawing motion. You want to be moving your knife in 2 directions at all times. Is that physically possible? Don't press me on that. No follow-up questions. Anyways, you can serve this cold, like chilled out of the fridge. You can serve it at room temperature. You can serve it hot. You can double, triple, quadruple this recipe. It is so easy and it is so delicious. And I tell you, everyone's just going to love it. Grilled flank steak with horseradish cream.